Hey, welcome to your Taurus horoscopes for the week of the 5th through the 11th. It's gonna be a bumpy first day or so, actually. We do continue to have Uranus and Pluto in Taurus. That's going to be there for a while, all in opposition with the Sun and Mars. A little bit of Mercury in there at the beginning of the week as well. And the moon is also squared with Uranus right at the beginning of the week because it's in Leo. So this actually makes a challenge that you're going to have all week, amplifies it, and makes it much bigger right at the beginning of the week. So that's not necessarily good news, unfortunately. The good news is that it only amplifies it for a day, but we do still have that challenge there. So let's just start with Sunday with the moon turning this opposition into a T-square, which is amplifying that challenge a little bit. Uranus and Pluto are focused on the home and the mind and how the mind works, which is kind of an interesting combination that we're going to get to here in a minute. Whereas Mars and the Sun are focused on long-term career goals. And then the moon comes in to add relationships to this, which really should be helpful, but it doesn't always work that way. It seems to be working less that way every single day for some reason these days. I don't know what it is. It just feels like it's very difficult for people to get along. And I have a sneaking suspicion that a lot of that is being influenced by the challenges and difficulties that are going on in the world, which are getting worse. I mean, they're not getting better, they are getting worse. And it makes it very difficult to really feel empowered enough to continue to be successful. And I feel that especially on Sunday, somebody coming in to share their concerns about your ideas just makes this worse. It goes from your quiet worry about it to, oh my God, and like an absolute freak out, right? But we also have to keep in mind that opinions are opinions. It's not the law of the land. It's not exactly how it's going to turn out. It's just somebody's concern about what you're doing. It's appropriate to take that into consideration, but it's not appropriate to have these words be what makes your decision, if that makes sense, for two reasons. One, a lot of times out of fear, we tend to look for an out. And so somebody coming in and sharing their opinion is a good out. Now we can blame them. We never did it because they came in and said something about it and that freaked us out. So it's all their fault why we didn't succeed, right? Which is never a good thing, okay? You don't want to hand your power over to another individual. The second reason why this is not a great thing is because you're allowing another person's opinion, whether it comes from the heart or not is irrelevant. You're allowing somebody else's opinion to make your decisions, whether you're doing this because it's an easy out for you or not. So really, you have to be the one to make the decision. And I have actually seen quite a few Tauruses do that. They go around, they ask everybody else for their opinion, and they base their decisions on that and solely on that. And they're not putting anything of themselves into it. That's the point there. As we move into the week and we're just looking at these oppositions between what's going on at home, your mind, and what's going on there, and your long-term career goals, we sort of feel a sense of, or at least this is how I see it, I sort of feel a sense of fear of change coming through in that, which makes total sense. Tauruses are fixed signs. Fixed signs do everything that they possibly can to avoid change, especially change that is not in their control. I mean, it's okay to make the decision to change if that's what you want to do. But if the universe wants you to, if your job wants you to, if your family members want you to, and it's a scary thing, you will resist it and resist it and resist it to the point where you're getting in your own way. So I feel like these instances are coming up that are creating you getting in your own way in order for you to see how you are getting in your own way. And that's actually a really valuable lesson for everybody, because when it comes down to it, no matter who we point the finger at and accuse, it's us that is we are getting in our own way. I am constantly getting in my own way. And it's because I spend too much time in here. And that is where Jupiter is coming into play here, because Jupiter is all about expansion. It's all about growth. It's all about change. It's retrograde. It's basically saying, haha, you can't change the way you think about that. And it's almost daring you to do it. It kind of makes me think of my Taurus father, who would literally not move, not budge on something that he didn't want to do until you go, well, you know why? Because you can't do it. That's why you're not doing it, because you can't do it. Oh, I can't do it. I'll show you, right? We know a lot of those personalities out there, right? And of course, you're never successful in an I'll show you place anyways. That's not where you want to be. You want to be focused. You want to be as clear and focused as possible. And the more time you spend trying to figure out what to do, how to do it, who do you have to watch out for, how's this going to play out, how's this going to play out, how am I going to get my clients, blah, 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 blah. We overwhelm ourselves and exhaust ourselves, and boom, we're sick. We can't do any of it anyways. We're proving everybody right. It's just a big old mess. It's just a big old mess. Avoid the mess. That's what the lesson is for this week. Avoid the mess. No matter how much it looks like everybody is trying to bring it to your door, you say no thank you, and you shut that door. If your brain is trying to bring you the mess, you say no thank you and shut that door. The more often you do this, the more clear and focused you are, and the better position you're in to be able to make the decision. Now, let's get to the good stuff here, because there is good stuff, including Uranus's trine with Venus and Pluto, which continues into, let's see how many days of the week. It does kick off the week and continues through about the middle of the week before it sort of breaks up a little bit. We do still have Uranus in a trine with Pluto, in fact, also a grand sextile as we bring Neptune into that too. So we have a lot of magical things that are working for you as well as against you in some way. Venus is focused on finances, bringing you creative ideas on how to deal with financial situations. Pluto is focused on you with a little bit of focus on that inner trauma there, which is kind of interesting. It's almost like going through these challenges is also helping you release things that, happened in the past that have been holding you back. We all have our share of those, and it's okay. It doesn't make you a weak person to have them. It makes you a weak person to, allow those things to control your current life, things that happened a long time ago, things that are over now, that are still controlling your decisions, that are still controlling fear, which is controlling you. That's not a way to be successful. And I'm not saying that those things aren't valid. Don't get me wrong. Okay. They are important. We all have a certain amount of trauma that influences our lives. I know I do, but every single day I have to make a choice. Am I going to allow the trauma to drive the bus today, or am I going to take the keys and drive that bus? And it comes down to making that choice every day, sometimes several times a day, just to get you to the point from A to B. And some days are easier than others. As long as we keep moving, that's what counts. And that's what all of this energy is going toward today. I do want to look at, not today, this week, I'm sorry. I do just want to point out Neptune's focus on the past, which is actually kind of interesting because with the past being brought into this, it also shows you that while your trauma does work against you most of the time, it does work for you as well in many ways. Think about this. I don't feel that I could work with clients that were abused physically, sexually, mentally, emotionally as well if I had not sustained that trauma myself in my childhood and even in some cases my early adult years. It makes me more qualified because I had the experience and I know what that person is going through. And in that sense, my trauma is actually working for me. And to be honest with you, I thank those people every day for that experience because it has helped me get to where I am now, even though it really could have gone the other way. And in some cases, it still does get in the way and prevent me from moving forward. It all comes down to your choice. It always comes down to your choice. So that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do consider sending me a donation or a tip through my coffee link. I always love getting coffees. And check out the profile because I am working on adding services so that you can book a reading through that link while we get the website situated here. So some more fun stuff going on there as well. So go check that out. I'm Melissa Bruce, Heavy Metal Psychic. Thank you so much for watching. I enjoy my time with you guys every single week. I will continue to enjoy my time with you guys every single week. And that will start next week. I will see you guys next week. In the meantime, you guys make it an empowering week. Make it a week full of excellent choices that help you get that clear and precise focus that you need in order to succeed. A lot of people are out there trying to succeed, but you guys have an edge because you're Tauruses, because you're stubborn, because you go after what you want, and because unlike cardinal signs and mutable signs, you're a fixed sign, and fixed is slow and steady, going specifically from where you are to where you want to be, and doesn't get as easily as distracted. So that's also a good thing as well. I'll see you guys next week. Make it a powerful and a great week.